by the state, and the cash flow, the revenues controlled by the state, they're compulsorily exacted from the populace through taxation. So therefore, you have already a disinclination of the payers to care about what happens. You have exhaustion and indifference in the marketplace on the payment side, and we have a system which has a social management purpose. Public schools are about social management, and have long, if you read the histories, it has a long basis, a very familiar basis in, you might say, German rationalism and French idealism, and with the state at the center. The state is the center, and it provides what is called a service, but which is really a kind of educational services by the state are not really services, but they're mechanisms of control and authority, so that the people will be properly informed as to their place in society, and they will conform to the overall ethic of our progressive and enlightened domination of all society through the state, whether it's federal, state, or local. And in a non-free market, you have many problems. You have many distortions. And you can measure that in the subjects, whether it's mathematics, whether it's literature or philosophy. Religion classes in schools they're all shorn many times of their genuine, exciting material. And you have drudge teachers teaching drudge students who don't want to be there. And when I read in the Apex report from Unify Ed that absenteeism is a big problem, say at Brainerd High, I think, well, wow, that's not bad. Absenteeism is not a sign of failing, because the people who are absent have something better to do. Maybe they're making their own discoveries about who they are. Maybe these young people are having independent existences apart from state management. And so I don't look at absentee figures necessarily as evil. I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing. So what is the solution? The solution to the problems that Unify Ed and Chattanooga 2.0 with Jared Bigham at the helm are proposing is not administrative tinkering. It is liberty in the market, a free market. And schooling is a legacy system. It has old ideas behind it. It is old technology. And you could say that the PDF and YouTube and free UCLA lectures, free Princeton lectures online have preempted the need for centralized systems where you have capital-intensive investments, so-called, from the taxpayer, that is to say, in structures, buildings, lands, and personnel. And you have a decentralized, diversified educational economy. It's already here. We're just not responding quickly enough to realize that we have to turn our back on the cartel and turn our way to face people such as Laurie Stevens. And that's what we have in the marketplace. Laurie Stevens is an important player in the educational sector. She has a tiny slice of educational services, and that slice is languages. She teaches at her school, the Chattanooga School of Language, different languages. German, Spanish, and English are the main ones that her staff teaches. The reason she's here is that in her exemplary work as entrepreneur, she's been recognized by the Chamber of Commerce as the top business of the year for this year, 2018, in you might say the small business category of between 1 and 20 people. Laurie Stevens, tell my listener a little bit about why you think that the Chamber of Commerce identified your business in such a way as to win that plaudit.
Well, first of all, we're super thankful and humbled to receive that award and that honor from the Chamber this year. And I think the Chattanooga School of Language, it might surprise people in Chattanooga to realize that we exist, first of all. And I tell people we exist because there is a need for German, French, Spanish, Portuguese, Turkish, Korean, American Sign Language, etc. There is a need for instruction in those languages in Chattanooga. And being from here originally, I've definitely seen this town go through changes. And so I think we are strategically placed to meet this growing need. And our business model allows for that certain flexibility in being able to customize classes for corporate clients as well as individuals and personal students, or individual students, I'm sorry. So we can be flexible, and we can create a customized service for those people. And so I think that we meet a unique need in this town, and we have a team of passionate teachers dedicated to providing that service for their students.
And who are the clients, the customers of Chattanooga School of Language?
So we work with a variety of customers and clients, and that's kind of the beauty of what we do. We are able to work with a variety of students coming to us for multiple reasons, whether they are a professional and they need language training in the workplace. We can customize that class to meet their needs. Whether they're a parent or who are raising a child, they believe in the importance of raising a bilingual, multilingual child. And so we work with toddlers through adults and families, individuals, corporate clients, as I mentioned, schools, homeschool programs, as well as after-school language programs on-site at various schools in town and at our location, which is on North Access Road.
Those schools, public and
private. Exactly, both. Yes. So we have worked with, I'm very passionate about providing an opportunity for as many young people as possible to have access to foreign language learning. And there are plenty of studies that point to the positive influence of learning a foreign language at a young age, cognitive benefits, social, it goes on. And we are surrounded by an increasing number of dual, it's called dual language immersion programs. And Georgia has a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of these programs in their schools, public and private. And the studies just point to the importance of foreign language in our students' lives, in their in the curriculum, in the school environment. And so we have an opportunity to help meet the need of local schools in town who may not have that service for their students. And so they've reached out to us, and we're able to go on site to their location and offer a class for the kids and a program that gives them that opportunity.
Well, say something about working with a big company such as Volkswagen. What language are you teaching there? Is it conversational language? Are you urged or told we need to have this type of relational language taught to either Germans, or what direction is the language training going? So a German company.
Yeah, so we have had the wonderful opportunity to work with Volkswagen for the past 3 years, and we are providing German language instruction for some of their team, from some of their employees, and as well as
high-level employees of Volkswagen. Management.
Some are management, yes, exactly. And not all of them are management, though, but they all have a need for language work, and it is workplace focused. Meaning we can tailor the class to make it relevant to their day-to-day interactions at the workplace. But it's also just solidifying a base in the language and building upon that and making it applicable to what they're doing. And so we also teach Spanish there, and because they do have a plant in Mexico. And so we offer Spanish and English there as well.
Well, say a little bit more, Laurie Stevens of Chattanooga School of Language, about Spanish. One listener is an American and had a couple of years of Spanish in high school, has forgotten almost all of it except perhaps the greeting and the farewell. Why should he encourage or she encourage her children to study Spanish? What are the benefits?
Well, that's a great question. So Spanish is very prevalent, of course, and in our country and our town. And not only is learning another language beneficial to an individual for, like I said, cognitive reasons, but also, there's studies that say learning a language is kind of like learning to ballroom dance or whatever. It delays the onset of delays the early onset of Alzheimer's or dementia, things like that. So there are benefits cognitively, but Spanish I use it every day. Not only with my students, but also with potential clients or, our partners in the community. It's very valuable. I read an article recently saying that the number of bilingual jobs has increased tremendously over the past few years, and workplaces are desperately wanting people who have those bilingual skills, multilingual skills. You are automatically at a huge advantage if you have those skills. And that's what we're passionate about, is providing that service, giving our students a leg up. And it's just becoming more and more relevant. It's not just it's nice to be able to speak another language, or, it's becoming a part of daily workplace interaction in many companies, in many large companies today. And that's a skill that people are really looking for.
This is David Touris. We do thank you for giving us just a minute of your time here. We're live on Facebook at Nooga Radio, and also live on YouTube at 92.7 and 95.3 HD4 high definition radio in Switzerland. I'm reading there's an FM is being brought to an end, and all radio in that central country in Europe is going digital. So we have an advantage here with powerful 95.3 HD4, that's high definition channel 4 digital. And if you're far off away from Chattanooga, beyond the reach of our wondrous 92.7, do switch over to that if you have a late model car or truck with late technology in your radio. We're talking with Laurie Stevens, and I'm glad to hear you say that about Spanish. Also, I would just mention that if my listener is concerned about exercising Christian grace and Christian charity, knowing Spanish is a way of reaching people who are new here, and also be in the scriptures, as there's concern there for strangers, aliens, and much is said about not oppressing them. If the listener wants to have his children have a means of dealing with newcomers who are new here, often afraid here, they're often abused by employers who don't pay them, and so on. They're often in the lower ranks in the poorer neighborhoods. You have, again, a means of approaching people who are new, and they're glad to be here, but they have many obstacles facing them, language obstacles, and cultural and economic obstacles as well, Laurie.
I think that's a wonderful point, and I would like to say that if learning another language truly opens up doors that wouldn't be open otherwise. And I personally experienced that when I learned Spanish. I was able to reach a whole new group of people who I would never be able to truly connect with without learning their language. And we at the Chattanooga School of Language, we teach languages maybe in a different sort of way than people are traditionally have experienced. And for those people who may have had Spanish in high school years ago, and like you said earlier, remember hola and adios and, a couple choice words, we approach the language through a method that focuses on general communication as a whole. And so it's based off of the most current research on second language acquisition. It's very similar to how we learned our first language. And so we use an overarching approach of staying in the target language a very high percentage of the class time. We use a lot of imagery. We use games, stories, putting the target language into the context so that you're going to remember it. You're going to be interested, and you're going to be a part of the language acquisition process. So it's not through study and workbooks and fill in the blanks and match subjects and verbs. It's use of language at the elemental level. If it's a newcomer, working very slowly in the language out to the cup is on the table, the cup is on the side of the table, the cup is on the table, the pen, the glasses are on the book, on the next to all those relational words coming at the beginning, I guess, right? Is that? It's more so, yeah. It's more so. It's more than just reciting a list of words or memorizing a grammar verb conjugation. I mean, it's about it again, putting the language in context so that you're interested and that you're gonna remember it. There's a higher likelihood you're gonna remember it if you're interested in what we're talking about in general.
Or we get on the mic.
Yes, on the mic. I'm here.
The next question I have, Laurie, is maybe theoretical, but let's just say that Henry County agreed somehow with the market principles that the listener believes him and says, okay, we're gonna make the school system efficient. And we're gonna cut expenses by half, and we're gonna cut taxes in half. And now suddenly we have half the taxes that my listener pays go to the schooling enterprise. We have suddenly now capital devoted to education that's free for other purposes, some of which may go to education. How would your business expand if suddenly we were told that language classes have to be obtained privately, and we'll give you a subsidy for it if you're a family with school-age children? How would you deal with an influx of opportunities from the buying side, from the customers who want that service? Would you expand? How would you expand your business? And the question, the key question is, how quickly could you do it? If let's say it happens suddenly, a taxpayer vote said, we're cutting taxes in half. Okay, suddenly you have money available for your services. How would you expand your business?
Well, I think one of the reasons why we have seen such growth these past few years is because of the growing need and interest in having these foreign language skills, especially for young students. From 2012 to 17, our student enrollment grew over 600%. And last year we served more than 1,000, and we're already in June, we're already at 800, more than 800 students. So, excuse me. So we exist again because there's that need and interest in foreign language learning in town, and the market is growing. And so as far as the Hamilton County school system supporting foreign language learning, or if there were an opportunity to provide foreign language services for more students, we would absolutely love to do that. We do work with several several teachers who also teach in the Hamilton County school system. Phenomenal foreign language teachers. There is a local group of language teachers that meets regularly, and we just support each other because we're in this to expand the belief in the importance of foreign language learning, of global education, and we support each other because we're in this together. I mean, we're trying to spread that stance on look, and foreign language is not just this extracurricular activity that someone can maybe learn someday and yay, that's great. It is very essential to a 21st century, to a future education of our leaders.
I'm suggesting if public school funding were cut in half, I would guess one cut would probably take place in foreign languages, and your sector, the language sector, would be there to take up that demand, because the teachers now employed by the county and the state would be suddenly freed, if you will, to be hired by companies like yours, Laurie Stevens.
That would be a potential situation, perhaps, yeah. And again, we do already work with several teachers who are in the system already and who work for Hamilton County and are phenomenal teachers.
Well, what else does my listeners know about your outfit, Laurie Stevens, Chattanooga School of Language? What's the website, and how can we find out more about it?
So it's ChattanoogaLanguage.com, and we actually have a term of group language classes coming up starting next week and also the end of July. We will also have group classes available starting in September for the fall season. We do individual lessons, customized classes for kids and adults, as well as various programs, including a travel immersion program.
Well, this is David Tools. We argue for the marketplace here. Love your neighbor, buy local is my slogan. And part of the rubrics of local economy, which is nudist-centric in our case, since we're in Chattanooga, is narrow is better than far, small than big, and simple than complex. And personal, down the footnotes, a 5-point type in Helvetica font, right? The Swiss neutral font. We have personal is better than corporate and physical than abstract. We're brought to you by yournews.com, the international website that serves the radio field here at 92.7, and also Nuganomics, of which I'm the editor. And I'm a Francophone. I've lived in Switzerland for a couple of years when I graduated from the University of Virginia, and lived there, intending never to come back. And I taught in Berlitz School. I learned that Berlitz has behaviorist method of teaching language based on emotion, and it seems to benefit the system.
Absolutely, yes. And we work, our teacher stays in the target language about 90% of the time.
It's a very useful.
Thank you so much.
I'm curious to hear, Manager Stevens, I do thank you for tuning in. I've got some wonderful sponsors about which I'd like you to hear, and make sure you patronize them and thank them for being here on the Shorthander station. We've got Bloomberg at 1. 3, 2,
1. Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news. Now.
Lake Winnie got a warning citation for taking too long to notify authorities of an accident that happened on Sunday. In that accident, a woman was injured on the Wild Lightning. Reports say she had to have surgery. The amusement park has been fined $500 for not notifying the Georgia State Fire Marshal's office in a timely manner about an incident on May 27th. Tennessee's background check system stopped a man from buying a gun. That same man later accused of killing his former boss with a hatchet and knife. According to WZTV in Nashville, 4 days before Metro Nashville police say Dominic Michelli killed his former boss at a Bellmead fitness gym last week. He tried to buy a gun from